Well, here we are. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Rod Ulrich, and it's been a pure pleasure putting these lessons together about companion animals, the biology of the companion animals. And I did want to kind of make sure you knew that I've had a lot of animal experience in my background, because if for the whole learning career, your whole learning career, try to take courses from people that know what they're talking about. I'd hate to go to some school, some college, and then have an instructor tell me about things that they've only learned from a book. That would be a very shallow education. So it's kind of like I always love to tell people how to learn, I guess, or make suggestions. And in this case, make sure your instructors have done things in their field that they're teaching about. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty shallow. So that's the whole purpose here. I'm going to talk about my animal experience, my educational background, and I'm going to keep it very general so I don't really waste a lot of time on specifics, because I want to make this pretty short because there's lessons to do. So I've got this titled, this little brief little message here, Early Years. For my early years up through high school. And even when I was very young, I had animal experience. And I've got a list here. I'm going to make sure this gets on the screen. And I'm going to, hopefully my laser pointer shows up. Sometimes on these lessons, my laser pointer is lazy. Anyway, up through high school, I worked a lot with cattle and pigs, chickens, geese, cats, dogs, a lot of experience. Been chased around barn corners by mad bulls. I was an FFA in high school, and I have to give a shout out to my ag teacher who planted the seed for me going to college. I'm what you call a first generation student. That means nobody in your immediate family went to college, and so you're less likely to go to college. And if you do go to college, you're less likely to finish if you're a first generation student. Anyway, my ag teacher planted that seed, um, and it was great. Did a lot of tractor driving, truck driving, grain trucks. I probably shouldn't admit this, but I started driving grain trucks in sixth grade out in the field. So not on interstates, but anyway, have a lot of great experience, and it was good time. Okay, so then I want to talk about my college years. Remember, I'm doing things in general. The specifics are, gets too long. Anyway, I got a BS degree, um, and had a great time in the animal science major. Loved college so much. I figured I would, but you never know till you go. But I really loved it. Had a great instructor in a physiology class. So then I got my master's degree. Then, going on, got my PhD degree. That was about a 10-year period. 10 years in college. I tell my students I went to college 10 years, and if they're a freshman in their first week of college, it's hard to understand how somebody would go that long. Anyway, I also did a postdoctoral research position. Also went to on a sabbatical at a med school. All this was great experience. During my college years, and especially during the graduate program and postdoc, I had a lot of great experience. If you're not familiar with what's called AI, that's artificial insemination. Done a lot of that with dairy cattle. Pretty good at it myself. I'm probably a little rusty right now, but that's okay. Did a lot of experimental surgery for my own projects and my advisors' projects and fellow graduate students. That gives me a great background in talking about internal parts. I did a lot of dissection as well during my graduate program. Took a lot of courses, love histology, love endocrinology. It was great time. So I've got this one, beyond college. Okay, let's say what I did after I left college. But then the first thing I have to say is I never really never left college, did I? I'm still at college. Found out it was where I really wanted to be. Been to different colleges, but I'm still at college. But let me tell you about some things, especially after my graduate program. I still worked with a lot of animals, cattle, sheep, and swine. Did a lot of stuff with that. Got all kinds of stories that I tell my students. Um, what did I do here? Yes, done a lot of surgery in my career, especially of sheep and swine. Have done a lot of dissection. My gosh, I've dissected you name the animal, and I've done it, which is great. Taught a lot of students how to do great dissection and to be careful. Have run laboratories, especially endocrinology labs. At one time, I think I peaked out at 5 graduate students. They were doing different things. Many of my graduate students are professionals someplace in the world, MDs, DVMs. It's great to interact with them. Um, Done a lot with pets too. Let's see, let me get my dragger over here. Here it is. I've peaked out with having owning 5 dogs and 4 cats at one time in my life. That was great, and I always love pets. You learn a lot when you have that many animals, don't you? Currently, I teach a lot of classes. Like this coming semester, I'm not giving you a time, but this coming semester, I've got 3 different classes with about 170 students, working with some student TAs. If I look back over my career, I've interacted with thousands of students, and oh my gosh, just today I got an email from a past student who's in Brazil. She was a Brazilian student, exchange student, came here. It's amazing, and I'm still at college, and I love all the college students. Another thing I do, I always try to bring animals to my classes because, man, uh, like here, this class, we're taking a test. You can see the students in the background, they're working. And this girl, this is her dog, and it was great. I think the test scores always go up when we have animals in class. And I'd estimate this last year, I probably had overall 100 students, or not 100 students, 100 animals brought to class over the semester. Sometimes we do this outside, but a lot of times it's inside. But excuse me, here's my dog Onyx, who peaked out at 180 pounds, and he loved to come to campus and actually run through the fountains that were spraying. He just loved that a lot. And I think that's the end of my introduction. I hope you enjoy these lessons. It's been fun doing it.